Milo, is that you?
There, I think I got it.
All right.
We
Kelly?
conducted the whole podcast while you were gone.
Yeah.
Well, who said I was? I was never gone. I was just in the corner of the room watching you, Daniel.
Watching with
I was watching you,
well,
Daniel.
Then we're all in trouble.
So you heard that? Oh shit!
I heard all of that. You guys thought I turned it off, but I'm in complete control at all times.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. Anyways, that's what they want us. That's what they want us to believe. I wonder if this is going to work. It'd be really cool if, you know what, with our guest tonight, if it doesn't work, we'll just talk to him again.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure he has time for that.
You know, I was telling that story or some other time, and I was listening to it not recently, or fairly recently, and I was thinking of Mike Wachowski in Green Bay, and I was thinking we have got to get him back. No, Milwaukee, Green Bay. I think he's in Green Bay. I thought we have got to get him back on the podcast. We haven't talked to him for years. And the reason I'm bringing him up right now is because it was with Mike, who is a great guy, a wonderful guy. It was with Mike that we recorded a fantastic episode. And later on discovered there was some sort of technical glitch. This is going back 6, 7, 8 years ago. And so I said, okay, we're going to do it again. And it was impossible. It was literally impossible to record the podcast again and get the same vibe. And you could talk to him and stuff, but you just couldn't get the same, what do you call it when it's spur of the moment?
The moment was gone.
Yeah. The spur of the moment thing was gone. And it was so disappointing. So if this doesn't work out with our guest tonight, well, then somebody you know what? Kelly.
Oh, you're asking the wrong person to take notes.
Kelly, just do a transcript, will you?
Yeah.
You know who I bet you'd be ideal for that would be the director of the foundation for the North Carolina Transportation Museum.
I bet he's got a little experience at it.
Oh, he's probably in every meeting jotting down things. And
doesn't he have a personal assistant to do that?
I don't think so. It's a non-profit organization where he's in charge of the foundation, where they have to raise money and have volunteers. And what exactly, Marcus? What exactly is it you do?
Hadn't figured it out yet.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at.
And you have an assistant?
Not so much.
No, I don't think so. We could ask Barb, but I'm not asking her. Somebody else ask her.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to. Imagine having a secretary, the same secretary for 35 years, and you're afraid to ask her things.
Honestly, that sounds about right. For
It sounds like marriage. That's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like marriage. Okay, so tonight, this has been arranged by. Daniel. Can I call you Daniel?
Yeah, anything like that. That works.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of something, but I can't repeat it on the air.
I get that a lot.
What was I going to say now? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Why can't you organize up some guests? Like Derek has got the guests we have tonight. Derek guarantees he'll be one of the most interesting people we have ever talked to.
Because I hadn't been asked to yet.
Okay, Daniel, go get us some guests. Everybody. All right. And not Chris Costello.
Yeah,
I hear he's really interesting, though.
Well, you are, yeah. All right. So tonight we have a plethora of co-hosts. We have the modeler simply known as Kelly. We have the AML's most eligible bachelor. We have somebody who I don't think will be with the podcast that long once he gets his big break on Broadway, Daniel. Clarence Banks.
Off Broadway.
Yeah. Which reminds me, we've got
way off Broadway.
Yeah.
Like back alley.
Yeah, like it's a 2-hour flight by plane off Broadway. And then we have Marcus. Who else do we have? Oh, yeah, Chris Costello, who lives in the Cow Palace, about 37 feet from the Pennsylvania border in Salamanca, New York.
I'm actually in the Cow Palace tonight.
Are you really?
Wow.
I am.
What's the name of what do they call the intersection that the Cow Palace is at?
It's technically Limestone, New York, but are you talking about where the restaurant Casey's was?
I'm talking about where the Cow Palace is.
Well,
like
I don't know if you call that an intersection or not.
Okay, but what is the name of that? Well, okay. What do you want to call it? Well, how do you refer? Because there's hardly anything there.
We just refer to it as the Palace.
Right, but isn't it in a what's the municipality that you pay your taxes to from their?
Oh, Limestone.
Okay, holy moly! The guest
I
is
said
probably
Limestone like 5 minutes ago.
I know, and then I said, and then you said, but it's not an intersection, and I'm like, so does it matter? Like you're giving me all
It's a
kinds
whole
of.
little. It's a hamlet.
Well, yeah, it's a hamlet. It's an intersection. And then Derek. Is that it? Did we cover everybody?
Yep.
All right.
I think so.
Okay. So Derek, introduce your guest.
Okay. Well, this is a big one. And
Well, that makes all the rest of the guests feel good.
it's a big one. It's a big one mostly because it evolved from me making a mistake and standing up this guest at Springfield some weeks ago. So on the Friday of Springfield, I'm walking through the Better Living Center, and I see our guest, and I make plans to come see him on Sunday morning for an interview, an annual catching up with them for the show, for our Springfield update. And then I don't know if folks remember, but we had a snowstorm blow through. And so I decided to fly out Sunday morning and ditch him and not show up to our interview. A couple days later, I contacted him and apologized, and he graciously agreed to come on the podcast. And so tonight, we're talking to Athearn and AML's very own Jon Stackpole.
And a little side note to that, Jon stopped by the booth on Sunday and said, I was supposed to speak to Derek.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Derek who?
That sounds about right.
We don't have a Derek.
Yeah, we don't have a Derek.
Derek no longer works here.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, you know what our first question to our guest will be?
What's that?
Go ahead and guess. Go ahead, take your best shot. Marcus got it.
I got it. Can I ask it?
Yep, you can ask it. All right, Jon, come on into the studio.
Howdy, gentlemen, and everybody else.
Okay, now, Jon, just right off the bat, I want to apologize for the next hour's worth of podcasting.
That's okay. I've listened to a few.
Okay. Oh, so you're the guy.
Jon is our ratings.
Yeah,
right. Some weeks it's 0, some weeks it's 1, but when it's 1, it's Jon.
Now, Jon, I've introduced everybody. Not sure if you heard us while you were in the green room, but one of our guests, who is actually the director of the foundation for the North Carolina Transportation Museum. Very important job. He has a question for you.
So, Jon, have you ever seen the movie Back to the Future?
Which one?
Oh,
Well, the first one. We'll start with the first one, the original.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Of course you have.
Of course you have.
It came out in the year I modeled, so.
All right. Wouldn't you say that the movie Back to the Future is almost a piece of Americana?
Oh, absolutely.
And that anybody worth anything would have seen that.
Or I think a better way to phrase that would be, it's amazing to find people that are over the age of 30, that it would be amazing to find people that have never seen it and have no idea how many gigawatts they should add to their Mr. Fusion.
Yet somehow we found one.
Found him under a rock.
and somehow that guy found John.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
So, John, we have kind of an ongoing thing where we were dumbfounded that we were dumbfounded that Derek had never seen Back to the Future. But then today I was listening to the part 2 of the Blair Koistra trilogy, which I think will actually turn out to be a trilogy. And somehow we got talking about the Polar Express, and there's a book or something. And then Derek goes, "Oh yeah, that won the such and such award." And the rest of us are going, "What?" And then we realized
Caldecott Award. It's the best children's fiction.
And somehow, I don't know how we got onto it, but I was busy edging around an accident in an intersection while I was listening to it. Somehow from that, we got on to the fact that Derek had never heard the song Harper Valley PTA. And now we're just worried about the culture that Derek has assimilated to. How do you feel this is going so far, John?
I wasn't prepared for Trivia Monday.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so Derek, I understand that John works for Athearn.
That's right. John, what is your title? You're a product developer at Athearn, right?
Yes, I am not one of the bigwigs. I'm one of the groundlings here. My official title is product manager. But people like to say that I'm the lead product developer for Athearn Trains.
But you're actually really important because you're the one that actually takes a project from an idea to physical model in our hands, right?
Yeah, in the world of product development, there's short lead products and long lead products, and the short lead is obviously you can accomplish in a short amount of time. So that's things that have been done before. So that's like taking an SD40-2 and slapping on Beyond Green, some new road numbers. And then the long lead is developing a project that's never been released before. And I pretty much concentrate on the long lead. So it's a lot of research, measurements, drawings, CADing, working with factories to get the parts produced, checking the parts, test fitting the parts, the whole kit and caboodle.
So how did you start with Athearn?
I accepted their job offer.
Attaboy.
There we go.
This guy's going to fit in well. Speaking of jobs, do you happen to have one for Kelly?
No. We want John to keep his job.
I won't promise a job, but I have been so busy at Athearn that I did convince the upper echelon to let me hire another product manager. So Athearn is currently hiring right now.
Wow.
Do they have to be in Oregon?
No, can they be in Oregon?
And geez.
I think we can. It can manage. Yeah.
What if they're really?
It is a remote position. So
what if they're really? What if they're really old and decrepit?
Oh God! John, the advice of counsel, don't answer that.
Yeah.
I'd say being old is a protected class, but
decrepit is not, right?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Okay,
we need a
so
good cultural fit.
if you don't mind me asking, John, how old of a man are you? And don't answer any questions. Here's the warning we give everybody: do not answer any question during this podcast that you'd rather not answer. But if you don't mind, I need to know how old you are.
Well, let's see. I was alive when Back to the Future came out.
Perfect. Excellent movie.
I was alive when Raiders of the Lost Ark was released.
Wow. So are you in your 40s, early 50s, late 30s?
I'm in the prime of my life right now.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So you're somewhere in the middle. Hopefully,
it's all from here.
Yeah. I once was with a very prominent model railroader who at the time was 52, 54, something like that, just in his early 50s. And he was talking about his middle age, and I couldn't help it. And I turned to him and I said, "So how many 104-year-olds do you know?" because middle age is really like, it's actually kind of scary. It's like a much lower number than people think. Okay, so I'm assuming you've basically probably been a model railroader your whole life.
Yeah, I claim I started at the age of 2.
Wow, that's a good one. I like that. We don't usually have people that can identify that they started at the age of 2.
I have gone through many Bachmann F units.
There you go.
Probably teethed on a few.
And are you an active model railroader yourself right now?
I mean, I put models together every single day.
Right. Well, this is going to sound.
My desk is, I know what you're going to add. My desk is cluttered with work and some personal stuff. I obviously don't spend as much time modeling myself.
Right.
I would love to get back there, but I also have young kids. So a lot of my free time is spent on kid activities.
Well, and as you're probably going to start to realize as we go along here that I just ask a lot of really dopey questions that can be construed as very rude.
You did get the question list, right, John?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's all scripted, right?
Yeah, it's all scripted. No, so it's like we always like to find out your background and how you ended up with Athearn, but rather than get right into Athearn, it's kind of interesting to find out as much as we can about you, like your social insurance number, you have the 3 digits on the back of your credit card, those sorts of things. So you probably, like many, I would say, what are we saying, guys? 95% of all model railroaders have been model railroaders since the age of 5 or less.
Yeah. John's bringing the bar down low or higher, I guess, on that, and that
Yeah, he identified it
too. Yeah.
How do you even have model trains at 2? Were your parents into it? Or siblings?
I think he just
So like many, my father was big into model trains. He has been an N scaler since I believe 1967.
N scale has been around since 1967.
Yeah, well, not good N scaled.
There's good N scale. Sorry,
around is a relative term.
Okay.
Yeah, he had an entire livery of 32 Santa Fe F units that ran backwards excellently.
So how did your dad get into N scale that early? He just an early adopter?
At the time, my parents were living in a mobile home in Daytona Beach, Florida, and they had a spare bedroom that was appropriate for N scale.
There we go.
Nice.
Very nice.
Daytona Beach. I'm only 25 miles from Daytona Beach as we speak.
Yep.
I'm just down the road from Daytona Beach. I spend much time in Daytona Beach.
Yeah, my dad went to Embry-Riddle, and he worked for Aero Commander.
Oh, cool!
Helped develop the twin Arrow.
Yeah, awesome. Can we get your dad on the podcast, Marcus?
He's an amazing modeler.
Okay, this is interesting to me, and I'm interested in everybody else's opinion if they remember or not. It seems to me that since we started the podcast, that we talk to more and more people now that their parents were model railroaders. I mean, it just seems to me that when we started the podcast, that wasn't as frequent a thing that people would say as it is now, where people will say, well, my dad was a model railroader. Does anybody else have any kind of recollection? Oh, Kelly, you've been here since the beginning.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's changed from, I got a train set when I was a kid to a lot more parents being involved. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's just that 10-year generational period where it was maybe more accessible for people in this, I guess. And I wonder when the hobby really started to become super accessible. Because, I mean, we've all seen the pictures of John Armstrong and all those guys and their layouts from the 50s. But I wonder when it really became. You're from Athearn. When did Athearn start?
Athearn is celebrating its 80th anniversary this year.
Excellent.
Wow.
Awesome.
I didn't know there was going to be a math test.
That's like roughly just right after World War II, then, right?
Yeah, I wasn't around, so I'd have to consult the website for the details. But yeah, my vote would be when JB Toys was in existence. They carried a large selection of model trains, and I think that made it very accessible to the public because there's JB Toys everywhere.
Okay.
Or sorry, not JB. It's KB
Toys. Yeah.
Yes.
KB Toys. Yep.
In all the malls, and you could always find inexpensive model trains there. Well, inexpensive at the time. It was kind of the I forget what brands that I would find in there, but they weren't the best, but they were there.
KB Toys was a prominent American mall-based toy retailer founded in 1922 by the Kaufman brothers. I see. That's where the KB came from, which became the second largest toy chain behind Toys R Us at its peak, with over 1,300 stores. Interesting. That's an excellent point. Anyways, okay, tell us more about your dad, because that's interesting. So your dad's still in the hobby, obviously.
Yeah, his father, when he came back from the war, started an electrical contracting business in southern Wisconsin, and I guess it was in Florida, but moved back to southern Wisconsin. And my dad went to work with him. And he was doing that for many, many years, up until I think 1996, when the doctor said, "You have just retired."
Wow.
Working overhead,
yes,
manual labor is pretty hard on your body. So when I was in high school, I helped my dad open a hobby shop.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
cool.
Nice.
So he still owns and operates that hobby shop. It's one of those classic hobby shops. You're not going to find an internet presence for it other than his social media posts on Facebook. But you go in and each peg is 6 or 7 things deep, and each one's different. And it's, down from your ankles all the way as high as you can reach in the ceiling, just stuffed full of cool stuff.
I love a hobby shop that's a treasure hunt where
those are the best. Yeah.
Sift through and layers of stuff, and you don't know what you're going to find.
What's the name of the hobby shop?
It's called the Hobby Depot, and it's in Monroe, Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yeah. And what I love about his hobby shop is because he's a modeler, you're not just going to find the basic ground foam buildings and rolling stock. He carries all the details, all the tools, all the things you need to make excellent models. So it's a lot more material to look through. So you never leave that store empty-handed, because there's always $5 or $10 that leaks out of your wallet.
I'm looking at the cover image for the Facebook page, and oh yeah, that is my kind of hobby shop.
This looks great. Oh, I'm excited to go here, John.
You don't live in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
No, but my in-laws are in Wisconsin, so next time I'm there this summer, I'm gonna swing down. Yep. This looks great.
Well,
because it's just my dad. Make sure you call ahead.
Okay.
He's getting up there in age and has a lot of appointments, and sometimes it just isn't moving around that much, so can't get into the store, but keeps him active.
So he just loves having the hobby store then.
Yeah.
So is the hobby store in the garage or in the house, or is it separate?
No, it's actually the old electrical contracting warehouse that he's converted into the retail space.
Wow.
And then in the basement, that's what you need to call ahead for. Is the basement is our old N-track layout, which is amazing.
Oh, cool. Well, you didn't tell me he was this interesting, Derek.
Well, I have to save a little bit for the show.
So you didn't ask about my dad. I'm just boring.
No, we'll get to that. Yeah, that's what Derek said. But anyways, we'll get to that. But this is really, really cool. So your dad was an electrical contractor, and then he decided, once his doctor told him that you had to cut back and do something easier, he decided to start a hobby shop.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool. And then it's been a going concern for how many years now?
Now you're making me do math. 30 years.
30 years. Wow.
Did you work in the hobby shop?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Wow.
I would
cool.
Ride my bike from high school over to the shop and run it, and some days I was all by myself there.
Wow!
I built a lot of custom models. Actually, I took best in show in the 1996 NMRA model contest.
Really
nice.
Way back when I was 16 years old.
Wow,
that's incredible.
Hey, is your dad building the Decatur, Illinois Wabash station?
Yeah, I think that is. Yep, that's the station he built.
Holy cow!
Look at this. Yeah, Daniel. Wow.
If you think that's impressive, look for the Viking.
The Viking. All right.
Okay.
The car ferry.
Oh, we have a guy who's
Oh, yeah, we got another guy on the podcast that's building a ferry.
Yeah. Everybody needs to go to the Hobby Depot's Facebook page and just scroll through the feed, because every week or two, John's dad is posting some kind of incredible modeling that they're doing at the hobby shop.
Yeah, this is not a Facebook page that's promoting, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's showing it's showing what you can do in the hobby, and it's obviously custom painting, and he's doing all kinds of things. Scratch. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the ship. Wow.
Okay, John, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but is there any chance we could get you to come back on with your dad?
We would have to start earlier in the evening.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can start at 4.
We're flexible. We're flexible.
Yeah.
Our sponsor,
I'm sure I could.
Our sponsor, White Rose Hobbies. Tom, one of those two guys, Tom Robertson and Ryan Toman, they own White Rose Hobbies in York, Pennsylvania. Kelly?
On the Old Lincoln Highway.
Old Lincoln Highway, 4401 West Market Street.
There you go.
Man, Kelly, you're like Daniel.
Zip code is 17408, and the phone number is 717-505-86. I may get it wrong. 76.
But as long as you have the zip code, you're all set.
And just tell me Lionel sent you.
Yeah, whiterosehobbies.com in York, Pennsylvania. And Kelly, where it's just down the road from?
Oh, crap. I forgot the place now.
The Ben Franklin RV Park.
Ben Franklin RV. Yeah, RV Park.
Yeah.
Sorry. Right there.
Oh, man.
There's also a Dairy Queen even farther down the road, but I'm fascinated by the Ben Franklin RV Park.
Do they have a Liberty Bell?
I bet you they do. So anyways, go to whiterosehobbies.com. Click on that, buy something and ask for Tom or Ryan and tell them Lionel sent you and see how that works. We'll talk about them again at the end of the show. Sorry, John, that just reminded me. That's our sponsor of the podcast. They're super fun guys to have as sponsors. We had a great time with them at Springfield. I'm already looking forward to hanging out with them next year at Springfield. They are fun guys to have as the podcast sponsors.
And they have 6,791 Athearn items on their website.
There you go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. I'm looking at this picture that at the top of the Facebook page for the Hobby Depot. And you're right. It's one of those hobby shops that you cannot walk out of without buying something.
Yeah.
You may never use it. You may never open it, but you have to buy something before you leave this hobby shop.
Yeah, you may not even come out because you're looking for all the stuff.
Because you're looking at all the stuff in every nook and cranny, and you're like, oh yeah. And then
it looks like Campbell kits on the top shelf there.
It does look like Campbell kits on the top shelf.
I don't know if it is or not, but
probably
this build is awesome. I found the big bobber. It is a bait shop, fishing tackle and all that. On top of it, he put a real bobber and lit it so that it's glowing.
Oh,
that's awesome. Wow.
Well, I need to put in a plug for the other side of my family. Are you familiar with the National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame?
Oh, sure.
Hayward, Wisconsin?
We were actually talking about that on the last podcast.
No,
I'm sorry to say I am not.
I don't go outside much, John, but I'm still interested.
My grandmother grew up in Chicago and married my grandfather, who came back from the war and was orphaned, grew up on the streets, actually worked for Al Capone. And they started the National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame in Hayward with their collection of fishing equipment.
Oh, wow.
And it has 60 100-foot tall muskie. I'm not sure how big it is, but you enter through the tail and you walk up giant scales until you're up in the mouth.
God,
if you're into fishing, cool. It's pretty cool. So my grandmother taught my grandfather how to fish.
Wow.
And started that. So
here it is.
The bobber is homage to that side of the family.
Oh, that's nice.
The bobber what? What'd you say?
The bobber kit. That was on display.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a scratch welder. It has a real fishing, like you can pull it off there and use it, bobber as the kind of like the trade sign on top of the building.
Yeah. My dad likes to work in raw materials or kit bash, so a lot of his builds are just raw styrene.
Jeez.
Wow. So I guess then I'm a little. So you grew up in the industry, and then one day Athearn offers you a job, and you start working for Athearn.
We're not getting to that yet. This is way too interesting. He's going to have to come back on again.
Yeah, jeez.
His grandparents started the National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame, and they got a fantastic website there. Holy mackerel.
You know how some of these podcasts, sometimes we have kind of a concept of how it's going to roll and go, and all of a sudden the guest shows up and just blows that to bits. This would be one of those.
I think so.
Wow, this is so cool. So cool. I'm going to get back to your dad's hobby shop, though, because I think that's really, although this is very cool as well. So
it's always great to see a hobby shop owner who is a very active modeler.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, and especially the hobby shop's been going for 30 years. This is not. Yeah. This is like John says, this is a real, honest to goodness throwback hobby shop.
It's an endangered species.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And it's very endangered, unfortunately.
And it sounds like your dad does it just because he likes doing it.
Well, yeah. As you retire, you need a project to keep yourself, mentally busy and active. And he goes and works on models and sells things occasionally.
And how do you think he developed his model? I'm always fascinated by how people develop their modeling skills, because I'm looking at some of the stuff that he's built here, and it's just fantastic. So how do you think your dad developed his modeling skills?
Well, the same way you get the Carnegie Hall practice.
Okay. I've been thinking about that because almost a year ago, I had a fairly major heart attack, and for a while I was having a terrible time with dexterity of my fingers. So I just started building 1/24 scale models, and first couple I threw in the garbage. But by the third one, I was like, okay, it's starting to come back now, and it's starting to work. Sure. And it's like I think that's the key for anybody that's not happy with their modeling. Just keep going. Just keep modeling it, and enjoying it and doing it.
Yeah. And my dad, he has a electrical engineering background, so an engineer, a very acute mind to thinking about how things work. So when you look at a bridge or a building, he looks at the details, and that's what comes through in the models that he builds. He tried to build in it so it may not be rivet accurate, but it looks correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Does he appreciate that?
Does he build these just for a layout, or does he build them and then sells them or whatever?
Well, I think how it started was being an old hobby shop. He saw the dusty boxes sitting on the shelf that no one was looking at, and he just pulled them off the shelf and started building them because like trains these days, people want to spend their time on other things. So he was putting together models and selling them.
Wow.
And some of the models he builds are built around displays. But a lot of them he's working on commission. People are looking for specific buildings like the Wabash station that they want to incorporate into their railroad.
Oh, is that a commission piece?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't imagine the person who ended up with that was anything other than a static. That's just great modeling.
Where are you seeing that? Because I keep scrolling down and I get stuck on the helicopter. Is it farther down?
Yeah, it's back in September of 2025.
Yes.
And one of the comments, he says he has 150 hours of work in this. I mean, that is just incredible.
It's a big build.
Well, and I'm stopped here. He just custom painted a couple of N-scale Kato SD45s for a customer. Man, the job that he's done on these N-scale locomotives is fantastic. All right, John, let me ask you this question. As somebody who is the son of a hobby shop owner and an obvious excellent modeler, when did you start to notice that you felt like, hey, my stuff isn't bad? Like, do you remember, were you a teenager? Were you 12? Were you 22? Like,
gosh, probably early teenagers. You know, I was involved in scouting, and my dad helped with the model railroading merit badge, so we built a 4x8 layout as part of the merit badge, and did a little bit of work on that. And I was constantly involved in the N-track module. I know he would pass me off corners to work on, so like I created a farmhouse scene on one of the modules that I worked on. I was scratch building rolling stock. Like I built one of the excavators on gondola for tie recovery. And
very nice.
The nice thing is, you know, my dad had so much stuff that I could just grab some things and work on them.
Wow.
So I think I built a pair of the twin 89-foot flat cars that are drawbar together. I think I was like 8 when I made that.
Wow.
I'm looking here on November 4th. He says, this week I've been busy painting more N-scale vehicles. So they're usable on the layout. And look at these. He's doing such a fantastic job on these N-scale vehicles.
I'm going to bite my tongue, but you can tell me whether it's funny or not. I was walking around the show on Sunday, the Amherst Model Railroad Society show, and I saw the flyer for IG Makes vehicles, and I walked over there. I was like, this is cool. And the woman behind the booth says, Stackpole. Do you know Brian? I'm like, yeah, it's my dad. He's our best customer.
Wow.
So now we got to track those guys down and get them on the podcast. So does he mostly work in N-scale stuff?
He is an N-scaler, yes.
I know,
but he works in HO as well for customers. But I think being a very prominent N-scaler in southern Wisconsin, he has kind of created a little bit of an N-scale community as well as being an N-scale destination. So a lot of people come to him for N-scale products.
And he's still going despite, well, look at this. October 8th, the N-scale and some for a local customer, and it's just Monroe. The painting he's doing on these N-scale locomotives is fantastic. Man, I'd love to just sit with your dad and watch him model for a day. It'd be very, very cool to see.
No kidding. I've scrolled back to 2022, and oh my gosh, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly, why are you this interesting?
Oh. Well, I work. These eventually go under, so that's probably why I'm not that interesting.
Chris, can I ask you a question? Chris, he's mad.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah, don't.
I was on mute and I was looking at the Facebook page and I couldn't get back to the right tab.
All right. You do understand the basic premise of an audio podcast, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. We already have a guy that spends all his time looking at the Facebook page and not saying anything, so that job's taken.
I would encourage you guys to keep scrolling to December 1st, 2021. You're gonna.
Oh no, I've been yelled at for that already.
Yeah. Scrolling.
That takes a hot minute to get to.
Yeah. You're gonna find a picture of myself and my brother from 1989 standing in front of one of the N-track modules.
Okay, now I'm just skipping through quickly.
Yeah, that's worth scrolling for.
Who's the guy who's dressed up in the bubble wrap?
That's probably my dad.
That's a lot of bubble wrap.
Yeah, it is. He's auditioning for the bear for the Polar Express.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Marcus. You're always worried about the safety of the patrons with my polar bear idea.
Just wrap them in bubble wrap, right?
Yeah, just either put the bear in bubble wrap or put the people in bubble wrap. Yeah. Well, while you're wrapping up Joey Logano, you can be talking to him about my NASCAR career.
Right.
Oh, I'm back to December.
Oh, man, I'm scrolling and well, I'm looking at.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
I'm looking at his boxes of parts and pieces. Okay. I know Derek has sweated off like 3 pounds or 5 pounds during this podcast because we're not talking about Athearn. So you get out of high school, and I'm assuming, did you go to college or university or something?
I flipped a coin in high school. Heads, I was going to go to the University of Wisconsin and become a music major. Tails, I was going to go to Northland College and study adventure education. It was tails. So off I went to Ashland, Wisconsin. Northland is a small liberal arts environmental school. And I studied adventure education. So that's experiential education, taking groups out into the wilderness to teach leadership, group dynamics, judgment skills, all in kind of a novel environment. So mountain biking, rock climbing, backpacking. After college, I became a sea kayak guide on Lake Superior.
A what guy on Lake Superior?
Whoa.
Sea kayak.
Sea kayak guy on Lake Superior. Holy moly.
Okay, yep. But while I was at Northland, I've always been a go-getter, and one major wasn't enough, so I ended up triple majoring.
Whoa.
I decided I wasn't done with music, so I continued my instrumental music performance degree with them.
What instrument do you play?
Yeah, what do you play?
Well, I was primarily a trumpet player, but I also played the French horn. I was the principal hornist at the Schwamigan Symphony for a while.
The who, what? Come back. What was that? Which symphony?
That's okay. Don't ask me to spell it. Schwamigan. It's around Ashland is a Schwamigan forest. So it's northern Wisconsin. Also played cello a little bit.
The pronunciation makes sense now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was riding my bike and hit a van, and it's one of the old vans that had the door handles that stuck out with the big thumb button you pushed that hit my mouth, and I tore my upper lip off and broke teeth. And that was the end of my music. I was no longer competitive, so I'm 4 credits short of a music degree. But then my senior year, I'm like, well, if I don't take this one fun class and I take these other 2 classes, I'm going to end up with a business degree. So I also have a business degree.
That's fascinating. It kind of reminds me of my story. When I was in high school, I went to the guidance counselor and talked to them about going to university or college. And they said, don't bother.
Yeah.
I think that's
Lake Superior is the lake they call Gitchagumi. That lake, the lake it is said never gives up her dead when the skies in November turn gloomy. Just giving you.
I know that reference. Yeah.
Well, that was certainly a downer.
Well, Ashland being a port city, Ashland back in the 1900s was supposed to be the second largest inland port right behind Chicago. It had many, many ore docks. While I was in school there, the Arthur Anderson would come in. That was the boat that was following the Edmund Fitz. Let's see.
Yeah.
So at that point, it was the Wisconsin Central, but they had the Sioux Line, the Milwaukee Road, the C&W, all came to Ashland.
Wow.
To ship out of, and Duluth Superior Ports was an hour away. Spent a lot of time over there. That's a model railroading heaven.
Oh, the ports in Duluth are awesome. Just to watch the trains work, and what a cool experience.
No, I barely know where to ask. Chris, ask a question.
I'll get to you. I'll get back to you.
All right. Well, I'll continue the story of how I got to Athearn then.
Yeah, I'll interrupt you at some point.
So I was a sea kayak guide for a number of years, but I decided I like women for longer than a week at a time. And
okay. Derek is going to have a fit. Derek is now going to have a fit because he's going to go, you can't have that on the podcast, to which I would reply, why not? And I'm going, so you found out it was cheaper not to pay for him?
Oh. No. I would take out one of the biggest populations of people that would go out on adventure kayaking trips were women. They'd all get the girl group together and they'd go out, and I'd be the guide with 6 women paddling out around the islands. And we were kind of a white glove organization. So I would cook their meals and set up their tents for them, and we'd have wine and whitefish, and it was pretty classy.
Chris wants to know how to get this job. Where are the islands on the southern coast of Superior? Whereabouts?
The Apostle Islands. It's actually in the National Lake Shore.
Okay, and that's near Ashland, is it?
Ashland's down in the bay. It's up north towards Bayfield, Cornucopia.
Okay, Red Cliff, Sand Bay.
The northern tip of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see all those islands. Okay, so you'd see kayak out there with groups of women.
Yeah, and I also took scout groups. Scout groups were much larger, and that was always fun to get the youth out there.
So the sea kayak idea was actually a stroke of brilliance at one point. Yeah. There you go. So Chris wants to know how you get the sea kayak gig.
Well, I was an adjunct professor of sea kayaking at North End College for a while.
There you go. So you're going to have to go back to school, Chris.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay.
But so after guiding, I took a job with one of the largest independent paddle sport retailers called Rutabaga Paddle Sports in Madison, Wisconsin. And I was their buyer for 9 years, and I worked with a lot of different paddle sport manufacturers. And being an engineer, someone who always tinkers, I started helping other companies develop new products. So working with life jacket manufacturers and canoe accessory manufacturers and all that. And
so while this was all going on, were you still maintaining interest in model railroading?
Every time I passed tracks, the eyes always wandered.
Okay. Were you doing any modeling of any kind? Like
it slowed down quite a bit. I followed a lot of the model trains and read the periodicals. Had several tubs of trains with me.
Right. Okay.
It wasn't as active.
Right, but it was still part of your DNA and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm hearing is for the kayak company, he's doing some product development. This really is an origin story. Like, do you develop superpowers along the way here?
Well, I must have, because one day I got a phone call from Duluth Trading Company, and they said, we need a new product developer. Are you interested? And I said, let's do it. So I left the paddle sport industry and moved over to Duluth Trading, who you may know for their underwear. They're very active with their advertising marketing.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe our very own Chris Costello is wearing Duluth underwear right now.
I am. Do you want to see?
No.
Thank God it's an audio podcast.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can put some pictures on the fans page. I'm not shy.
Oh, yeah, you should totally do that. We will have no patrons left.
So they were located outside of Madison in a pretty tiny town. So I would commute down there. And it was a pretty small company when I joined. We would have guys' lunch because in the apparel industry, most of the people involved are women. So all 6 of the guys would go out for lunch.
I'm noticing a pattern here. Whatever he does involves women. Groups of women.
There's a lot of right.
Yeah. This guy's a sharp operator.
He really is.
So when you were commuting to Madison, like, were you living still near the shore, the south shore of Lake Superior?
Oh, no. Madison's 250 miles south of.
Right. So I just wondered, like, we probably haven't. So what year is this? Like the early 2000s?
Yeah. Let's see. 2004 is when I started with Rutabaga.
Rutabaga?
Yep. The store's named after a Frank Zappa song called "Call Any Vegetable." It's the chorus.
I thought we were talking about Duluth Trading.
Well, and then I'm trying to remember when I started with Duluth.
I'm just bummed that Duluth Trading Company is headquartered outside of Madison instead of Duluth.
There is a reason why they're called Duluth Trading, but that might take us over our time allotment.
Yeah, I think we're I wouldn't worry about that. You're coming back whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I didn't even get to ask my really good question. So
okay, well, go ahead. So you got it. You want to save it?
It's an Athearn. It's an Athearn production question.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll save that one.
Then.
We'll get to that.
We're still a decade away from Athearn.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. We talked about Athearn. That's
yeah. So
okay. So now you're with Rutabaga. And you're doing product development. So you're learning the trade of product development, I would guess. Or you've been doing it. Now you're honing your skills.
Trial by fire.
Right. You're honing your skills. Mastering your
Mm-hmm.
skills in product development.
Mm-hmm.
And would you have to go out and measure life jackets and things, or use laser measurements on life jackets?
Grab blueprints from the historical societies. Get on the online forums and talk to angry customers.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now you're with the Rutabaga, and then what happens?
And then I went to Duluth Trading, and I became their lead product developer for their hard goods categories. So I designed and developed all their car accessories, all their tool bags, all their pet accessories, as well as going to a lot of trade shows and sourcing other things like knives and tools and books. And around the holidays, the toys were always fun. So they'd sell in their catalogs. And then when I joined them, they had one retail store. And when I left, I think there were around 60 retail stores.
So this sounds like a personal observation, but I'm not trying to be personal. I'm just trying to get a feel for what's happening here. But I'm assuming being a lead product developer for Duluth Trading would pay some pretty decent coin.
It was a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good job. Okay.
I definitely took a pay cut when I moved to Athearn.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's kind of where I was. Everybody that works at when I was with Model Railroader, I think everybody there took a pay cut to get the job.
Yeah.
Kind of went with the. Okay, so okay.
Yeah. So let's fast forward to 2020. The business landscape is changing. We can see that, and Duluth wants to acquire a few other businesses, and I'm seeing the future and seeing my category not supporting my role anymore. So we decided to part ways. And I stepped back, take some time with the family. We just had my daughter the year prior, so it was nice to be a dad, full-time dad for a while. And once I got comfortable, I started looking for a new job when COVID shut everything down. So I became a full-time stay-at-home dad during COVID. I also, just prior to leaving Duluth, had laid plans to build my own office because I actually had moved out of Wisconsin to Oregon before starting a family. We wanted to move closer to my wife's family.
And was your wife was your wife one of the ladies you met on a kayaking trip?
It was not. But I did meet her in Madison. And
nice.
We lived in a few places there.
Now you're getting close to Kelly's heart because he lives in Oregon, in Medford, Oregon, and John, can I ask you a question that it may seem a little odd, but I'm interested in your It's kind of the same as the Back to the Future question. I'm kind of interested if you've ever heard of this before. Have you ever met anyone that rode off their vehicle in their own driveway?
No, but I've heard the story.
Hey, John, where in Oregon did you move to?
I'm in Bend, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
So 170 miles from you.
Yep. And you're still there?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Oh, you're still in Oregon. Okay, cool.
All right. That's a great town.
You know, Kelly should come up and visit you at work. I hear that he is outstanding at making impressions.
Oh, God.
Lasting impressions.
Did you know that Medford had an airport with a runway wide enough to land 3 of those giant Russian transport planes at the same time?
That's what I've heard.
They used to also have 2 different model railroad companies.
Actually, they had more than that, but I didn't work for the other one.
Yeah.
So they're still around?
No, they've been gone a long time.
Oh.
So how did you? Okay, so we've got just enough time on this particular podcast. Okay, everybody, we've had Jon Stackpole on, who's the product developer for long lead products for Athearn, and he'll be back because we never even asked him a question about Athearn, other than we're going to ask him now. So how did you end up with Athearn when you're living in Bend, Oregon?
Well, COVID changed everything. I had been working remotely for Duluth for prior to leaving, and I had started building my own office. I've got quite a bit of property here in Bend, and built a 10 by 20 foot building off on one end so I could have my own space. And COVID shut down the Athearn office, and they sent everyone home, and they had a position open up due to absence, and they started advertising. And being a model train follower, I saw the ad and said, I've got some experience. I'll see if they're interested. And a couple months later, they finally made me an offer.
So, and this is in 2021, 2022?
21.
Okay. So you've been there now 5 years. 5 years.
Yep.
Wow. And you get to, so how often would you, where are they actually headquartered?
So when I joined Athearn, they still had their office in Long Beach. They closed that office permanently the week after I was hired.
You are like Kelly.
Well, it turns out we're all really good at working remotely, and offices are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure are.
Definitely.
I was the first remote hire that they had done, and it's proven successful. Now, Horizon Hobby, the owner of Athearn, had a warehouse. I'm spacing the name right now, and another one in California. They recently closed that, and they've consolidated their operations back to Champaign, Illinois, which is where Horizon is headquarters. So that would be where Athearn is headquartered now.
At Horizon Hobbies.
It's quite the downgrade from Long Beach.
Unless you're paying rent.
Yeah,
that is fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's quite the upgrade from the Cow Palace.
Hey, I love this place.
Oh man.
Well, okay, I haven't been to the new Cow Palace. I'm still living on memories from the old.
Whose fault is that?
Well, exactly. Well, as soon as I stop having medical emergencies, I'll make a trip there.
All right.
It's on my short list. Trust me.
All right.
Because I can get there and back in a day, easy.
Yeah, you can. That is an easy trip.
Right through Ellicottville.
Right through Ellicottville. Place I try not to go.
And for everybody that's listening, just so everybody's clear on this, the last time Chris and I had dinner together, we had dinner in Ellicottville at his suggestion of the restaurant.
Did I?
Yeah, because that's right. I knew all the places and all the hot spots in Ellicottville.
Right.
So now
I don't know.
So now Medford. Kelly, it's not that far. You could move to Bend and get a job.
I won't move to Bend.
Why? What's wrong with Bend?
When I went there back in 2000, whatever. I went to the top of the cinder cone and looked out and saw all the development being done, and it was just like being back east. And I said, "Nah."
You can work from home.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
Bend doesn't look that big to me.
It's not. It's actually a nice area if you really into scenery and everything. It's I don't know. John, is the main street still nice with a bunch of restaurants and stuff?
Bend is a very tourist-oriented town. Yeah. Up until about 20 years ago, it was a lumber city.
Right.
And that all closed down. And they made the decision, let's focus on tourism. So the growth in Bend has been crazy. I used to take road trips out west on summer break from college and went through Bend. And I think the town was about 30,000 people the last time I drove through. And now we're over 100,000.
Yeah.
The growth is just absolutely off the hook. My house value has tripled since I bought it.
Yep.
It's a very expensive town to live in, unfortunately. But
what's the elevation of Bend?
Depends on where you are. I think I'm about 3,800 feet.
Wow, that's pretty close there. Here on work on the Google on the internet machine, it's 3,623 feet, 3,623.
It was interesting.
I look down on those people.
It was interesting when I first went there and I saw all the signposts, like the stop signs were all about 8 feet tall. And wondering, why are they so tall? Because in the wintertime, it snows.
No, it's because of Sasquatch whenever he comes through town.
we actually don't get a lot of snow. We're a high desert here, so I think we only get about 9 inches of precipitation a year.
Yeah.
It's been 60 degrees all week.
Yeah, you guys I guess Mount Bachelor didn't open up enough ski lifts.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, the mountains, the Cascades, they definitely get a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Although not this year.
So next week on Kelly Talks to Fellow Oregonians. What do you think, Marcus?
I think it's a new opportunity for Kelly.
Population right now, and so 2024 for Bend, Oregon, is 106,926.
Yeah.
Wow. And you say when you got there it was 30,000.
No, that was the last time I took a road trip out here. My wife grew up in Salem, and I said, I will move to Oregon for you. I will not move to Salem.
Move.
What's wrong with Salem?
Too close to Portland.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it has nothing to do with the proximity to Portland.
Well, that's the capital anyway, capital of Oregon.
I want to live on top of Aubrey Butte.
Don't we all?
In Bend. Yeah, that's got to be just a great view there.
Well, just be careful going down the driveway.
Yeah.
Oregon, we run studded tires in winter.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yep.
Now, see, where I live up north, this year was, I think, the second worst winter I've ever had there. We had just over 10 feet of snow so far. And I'm driving around on all-season radials.
So people always ask me, how far is it to Portland? And I say, well, it could be 3.5 hours or it could be 2 days, depending on the weather. Because you have to go over fairly large mountain passes to get there, 2-lane roads.
Mm-hmm.
And one trip I drove, I was, my truck's got 11 inches of ground clearance and I was pushing snow with my bumper.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They probably don't get, and I discovered recently that they don't own one single plow in North Carolina. Okay. Well, that's it. We're run out of time. I think that was a great and very interesting discussion about Athearn.
Yeah. Next time, will John take a job at Athearn?
The suspense is literally killing me.
Right,
John? Would you come back and join us again?
No, one shot.
That's a coincidence because this will never be on the air.
No, I would love to talk about the hobby. I am all about the interesting people and the stories, and getting more people in this hobby. So yeah, of course I'd come back.
Okay, let me ask you we'll ask one hobby question, one model railroading question while we're here. And actually, Chris, you could chime in on this too, because now you've had several years experience as a manufacturer in the business, but I'm convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that this hobby's growing. John, what's your opinion?
I should have prepared. I think the hobby is at a tipping point. We need to see some changes to continue the evolution of the hobby. I think a lot of things have changed, and getting into the hobby is more challenging than it has been in the past. But once you breach that threshold, I think there's a lot of opportunities that haven't existed before.
Now that is an interesting answer.
That's a great answer. I hope you wrote that down, Derek, because that's how we're going to start the next podcast.
That's a lot about what my question leads towards also. So it'll work out really well that way.
Daniel, there is no way you came up with such an intellectual question.
Oh, yeah. I've been thinking about this, and I think Athearn's in an awesome spot to do something. I think they should. So I'll bring it up on the next one.
All right. Okay. Chris, where do you fall in on that?
Honestly, I've had many similar thoughts. I just never have been able to really voice it like that, because it is very difficult to get in. It seems to be more and more difficult to get into the hobby as a younger person anymore. No, I don't think anybody's going to hand a 2-year-old a $300 locomotive, because you just don't have those. I'm going to say cheap locomotives or cheap sets you get at KB Toy Store. But I think, like he said, once people get beyond that, I don't think the hobby's dying, or I think it is growing. There's so many opportunities with the technology is just going crazy. And I think a lot of people, a lot of younger people especially, they're seeing the opportunities to really put their own spin on it, whether it's getting into the whether it's modeling or operations or even going really niche and doing all the sound files on the sound equipped locomotives and stuff like that. And I think it's just I think it's growing.
That is all. Both of you guys, man, brought up a ton of interesting stuff. Man, what a great discussion that's going to be. That might be a whole separate show all after we hear all about Athearn.
Yeah, definitely.
Because my attitude about that, just to add my 2 cents before we call it a day, is that, people are constantly hand-wringing that locomotives cost $300 or blah, blah, blah. And yet it costs me $300 to go to a hockey game for 3 hours. And that's what I get is 3 hours worth of enjoyment, and it's like $300 for a locomotive that's going to last you 20 years.
I don't think there's people that can think of it that way. It's just like, oh my God, this is so expensive, but yeah, I'll go to a hockey game for 3 hours for that much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, even when you go to we went to the AHL game, I mean, because we bought, 12 or 14 tickets, we got them for $20 each. But by the time you buy your drink and your soda and that, you easily spend $50 before the night's over.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I bought a $35 T-shirt, Springfield Indians T-shirt too.
Mm-hmm.
Support your local team. All right, Kelly, do we have a sponsor?
Yeah, we have that wonderful hobby shop down in York, Pennsylvania on the Lincoln Highway.
Do you have an address?
Yeah, 4401 West Market Street, just down the street from the Ben Franklin RV Park.
Ooh, he's learning.
But does the sponsor have a name?
White Rose Hobbies, not to be confused with White Rose Nursery.
That's true. And even our sign at the shows, the guy that made the sign, it said White Rose Nursery, and then it was crossed off.
Spelled incorrectly.
Yeah, spelled incorrectly in the whole 9 yards. All right, and they carry tons and tons of Athearn products.
Yep.
Right there at whiterosehobbies.com. And when you call or order something online where they can put in the message part, tell them, ask for Ryan or Tom, and tell them Lionel sent you. I don't know what that'll do, but just tell them anyways. And then buy some.
It can't be good.
No,
Yeah.
and then buy some Jelly Bellies.
Yeah, good snacks.
They got a great
If you buy
selection.
jelly, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they got a great selection of Jelly Bellies. Go ahead.
They do, and if you buy some, they might forgive you for telling them Lionel sent you.
There you go. Good point.
It's like a reset.
Yeah. Whenever you know what, when you go to whiterosehobbies.com and you pick up your latest Athearn purchase, grab yourself a bag of Jelly Bellies.
You'll be happier if nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Kelly, can you give out our email address?
Yes, I can. If you want to reach us through the magics of email, you can reach us at modelerslife@gmail.com. That's modeler with one L like limestone, not two L's like Kelly needs a job.
That's so sad.
I know, isn't it?
It's such a sad way to end the podcast. Kelly needs a job. But don't you have that big firefighter pension coming in every month?
Yeah, we're making do. It's,
like you don't have to spend every dime that comes into that.
No, it pays for the debt that I've incurred in buying locomotives.
The debt that you've incurred buying what kind of locomotives?
Athearn. I got a bunch of Athearns, and I'm really happy with them. Especially I got the what were they? I can't remember the number, but
the blue one, right?
No, actually the green one. The green one.
The green one. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Well, the box is blue. I love their boxes. But I bought two locomotives for I think they were the 39, whatever it is on the end, 2-2, and they were Reading. And right out of the box, they ran perfectly, and I didn't have to speed match it.
Wow, look at that!
Which is unusual because some of the other competitors, you have to speed match their locomotives because they don't run with each other.
And I have to say, our buddies at White Rose Hobbies, when I was in their booth at Springfield, they were talking about how nice it is to have Athearn locomotives on display on the shelves because the box art is beautiful, the boxes are beautiful. There's a picture of the locomotive right there in high quality print, especially compared to other manufacturers where that stuff fades right away. The Athearn stuff looks great on the shelf, they said.
I think Athearn was one of the first to do that because I know there is at least one other that has the artwork on the side, but it seems originally Athearn was kind of the leader in that one.
Right.
It's a popular thing. We had a lot of requests, and we managed to do it on our N scale products too.
Oh wow!
Wow.
And they're easy to get out of the box. That was the other thing.
Your printing doesn't fade unlike others apparently. So
and they're easy to get out of the box.
Yep.
That sounds kind of goofy,
and their artwork doesn't fade.
It is nice when you don't break handrails and things off getting them out of the box.
You could take the shell off if you have to, which is particularly nice.
And they melt in your mouth, not in your hand.
In your hand.
You can buttermilk me up all you want. You're still not getting a discount.
Were we that obvious? Oh, no.
And if you didn't catch that email address, if you go to our website, modelerslife.com, and click on the widget, there's a widget there where all you do is fill in your text and your subject and just hit send, and boom, it automatically goes into our mailbox. And unfortunately, the guy that runs the mailbox is not that sharp. And then if you enjoyed this podcast and you'd like twice as much podcasting every week for just a few cents a day, you can join our Patreon channel and get more homey, more intricate, more I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I can never think of the right word. They're both good podcasts, the free ones and the paid ones. The paid ones are more laid back, a little less how we're so uptight on these free ones.
Especially tonight.
So much structure and discipline. Yeah.
It's a little tough to tell tonight's from a Patreon version. So there you go. That's a little teaser of what they're like.
And then if you move up to the T-shirt level, then you get to enter into the game. Hey, dude, where's my shirt? Because everybody that's at the T-shirt level gets once a year gets a T-shirt and a bag of decals and stickers and all kinds of cool stuff. And that's it. And have we missed anything, Marcus, or are we done?
I think we're done.
Okay. And somebody has to stop breathing.
Is
that Costello? Costello, you know what? You might have to be one of those guys that has the microphone right just at the tip of your nose.
Hold on just a second. Does it fix it when I do this?
Yeah,
you do.
He puts himself on mute. I hate that. All he's got to do is move the microphone up above his.
Well, it's not just that. I've got the laser cutter going tonight.
Oh, that's what.
Blame the laser cutter. Come on.
Oh, I'm going to blame the laser cutter. Every time I was standing right over it, I was putting myself on mute.
Well, that's why you weren't asking a whole bunch of really pertinent questions.
Well, originally it was because I was looking at the Facebook page.
Okay. That is so cool what you told us about your dad. We got to talk about that some more.
I'm glad that came up. That was really great.
Yeah, we got to get now we found somebody else to track down and interview is the guys that make what is it?
IG Makes.
IG Makes. Yeah, absolutely.
I even wrote that down.
Husband and wife team.
Did you on a year ago or May 11th of 2023? There's a picture of the Viking 2 from the ferry. Mm-hmm. Is that an N scale as well?
Yes, that's 2 scale, an N scale.
And your dad?
It's like 3 feet long.
And your dad built that too?
Yeah, from scratch.
Oh my God! You have got to talk to him and see if we can. We'll send him a headset. And we'll see if we can figure out how to get your dad on here one night with you talking about all the stuff he's done because he sounds like a fascinating guy.
Yeah,
he sounds way more interesting than you.
One of one with Jon Stackpole.
Yeah, there you go.
And we still don't know anything about Athearn.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, John. At the appropriate moment, we need you to say "Happy Rails" to you. Now, the key to this is there's no interpretation. There's no singing. There's no dancing. There's no interpretation of any kind. We just need you to say enthusiastically, "Happy Rails" to you. Do you think you can handle that?
I've been listening for 8 years. I think I can manage it.
All right. Wow. Why
have you gotten 8 T-shirts?
No, he's not.
I think I have 4.
Okay.
Oh. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, no kidding.
When you're in the industry, you get a little bit of better treatment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the equivalent of being a high roller right there.
All right.
I got the presidential suite at the Super 8.
There you go. All right. Well, John, as we close the barn doors on another episode of A Modeler's Life, I guess there's nothing left to do except for you to say,
"Happy Rails" to you.
While in Busted Knuckle, guests of A Modeler's Life podcast stay at the Casa del Sol Motor Court and Inn, where late-night dancing at the Rumba Room is a magical event to be experienced.
It's another Lincoln Homer.
Wow, that was a good one.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good.
that was
That's
a good
enthusiastic.
podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a great man. Oh man! And did we? I guess we briefly mentioned Athearn.
we glanced at it.
Yeah.
Well, you at least know he works at Athearn.
Yeah,
Right.
And we know that Athearn got moved to Horizons in, where was it again? I can't remember.
Champaign, Illinois.
Champaign, Illinois. So
Trying to get as far away as they can from Kelly.